In 1987, Barney the Dinosaur was conceptualized, putting out the franchise's first video the year following. After an initial 3 tapes were produced, the character came to an early end, before a demand would begin to rise up. In 1990, this demand would be heard and a new set of videos would be made. We're taking things back to the year 1990 to continue the original lore of the character, Barney and the Backyard Gang.
It's only make-believe.
And make-believe can't hurt you.
Right.
What do you guys do around here when I'm not around?
Barney comes to play with us whenever we may need him. Barney can be your friend too if you just make believe him.
Campfire sing-along begins at Tina's house, and we're already starting to switch. No longer does Barney live with Michael and Amy. Here, Tina is being read a story by her mother when she asks for Barney before heading to sleep. When her mom reaches for the plush, it's an entirely new Barney meant to fit the redesign of the character, and also to sell toys.
Everybody loves Barney, and now you can have your very own toy Barney. Join the fan club and find out how.
While I wish the intro was changed around at least a little bit so that it makes sense, I like the notion that this new redesign of Barney is the one that Tina carries around, as opposed to the old one. As if Barney is just whatever dinosaur you decide to call Barney.
I love you, you love me. We're a happy family with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too?
Falling asleep, Tina dreams about the book she was just being read. However, here in her dream, she imagines being at a campsite with the Backyard Gang. Amy mentions that Barney was the one that called them there, which is really odd because that implies that every one of them is having the exact same dream and Barney just has that ability? I mean, I guess. I mean, this could also just be a factor of Tina's dream only. But if that's the case, then why is this random other child here instead of her friend Adam? Like, Adam is literally an integral piece of the Backyard Gang. Actually, you know, yeah, can I just say it's very weird that not a single one of the kids mentioned the fact that Adam not only wasn't there, but that a random other person just teleported in with them. The actor that plays Adam is not present for this release, and I honestly don't care for the reason why, even though people in the comments are probably going to tell me anyway. In his place is a character named Jeffrey, a kid who appears here in this tape and literally never again. That's what happens when the lyrics to your main theme heavily incorporate the main cast and then one of them can't make it. Re-record the entire thing to include one person for one tape.
Eric is in Barney's club and Jeffrey has a ticket.
Barney, you knew that Mommy was just reading me a story about camping, didn't you?
Well, Tina, sometimes stories can come to life in your imagination.
After relaying that the crew is all going camping, Barney initiates the Barney Shake from the prior video, spawning camping gear and items all around.
Lanterns and matches and rope and food, pillows and blankets and tent and food, flashlight and compass and an axe and food.
I love Jeffrey because even with his whole bit being, I love food, it's still more personality than an entire half of the Backyard Gang was given.
Everyone who wants to hike first, raise your hand. Who wants to eat first?
Well, I can't wait till later.
There's a few different little bits, such as marching like ants after seeing ants trail by, and having a mini picnic. They keep doing this thing where it's like, look guys, Barney is hungry. Let's shove as much food into his mouth as possible to prove that he can eat food. Meanwhile, David Voss's eyesight is just...
It's a turtle.
If y'all don't leave that turtle alone,
I know, well, I'm about a turtle.
says Derek. Nobody asked, said Barney. This special has some really good music, just like with Waiting for Santa. Like, The music is really good. Again, it's the fact that Bob Singleton was brought in as composer, so like it has that Barney and Friends sort of feel, just not yet, but the songs are really good. Whilst Barney and the gang head back to the campsite as it's getting dark, Tina hangs behind taking care of the turtle, unknowingly spending what seems like hours into the evening. How did she not? Whatever. It's actually really eerie and unsettling, and I'm impressed. I mean, it's Barney, of course, but I couldn't see Barney and Friends doing this. Cut to someone plugging a Barney and Friends episode where this happens in the exact same fashion. Tina uses Barney's advice and hugs a tree, allowing the gang to come and find her. The passing of time is really strange in this video because when they find her, it's just morning again, but just don't think too hard into it, I guess. They all moronically decide to explore this big scary cave where they run into Bob West in his pajamas.
Spring comes earlier every year.
I don't understand how, but apparently this scared a lot of kids back in the day. Like, guys, it's just Bob West. Like it's Barney and also Chuck E. Cheese. Like, leave him alone. This video is, wait, no, it wasn't. He wasn't Chuck E. Cheese. This video is exactly as the title implies. It's mainly song after song in the same location, essentially. And like I said earlier, the tracks are pretty nice for the most part. I mean, there are some that are just irritating, though. Like, some songs they do for literally like 30 seconds and then they just move on to the next one. I think because of this, there isn't too terribly much to talk about. Like, they make s'mores and look at the stars. That's pretty neat.
Why are they called s'mores?
Because you always want some more.
Wait, why is that funny? He just answered your question. Barney, why are they called Frosted Flakes? Well, because they're flakes that are frosted.
He said to me, why don't you run? I see you ain't got any gun.
You what?
So there ain't no more, unless I need that air once more.
Did someone call me?
Get out of here, Bob. Ain't nobody asked for you. I really like this shot of everyone looking around and Barney's eyes shifting around. I don't know, it's really nice. Also, the Kookaburra song just reminds me of the Making New Friends, like On the Move, Barney and Friends season 3 episode, and I watched that all the time as a kid. So like, this song is always just, it has a special place in my heart. So as David Voss realizes the eyelids on the new costume aren't large enough to make it look like Barney is sleeping, the kids pack into the tent and head to bed. As we soon wake up back in Tina's bedroom, a butterfly flies out and Tina wakes up with Barney by her side, prompting the end of Campfire's sing-along.
Now that's what I call a dream.
Can I just say, I don't feel any real emotional attachment to Barney in this set of videos, and it doesn't really feel as though the kids do either. I was going to wait until the end of the series to mention it, but I have to bring it up here. The franchise's first 3 videos conveyed him so differently with how the kids spoke to him and looked to him. When he'd leave, there'd be legitimate sorrow, and even without, they knew how special he was and how he helped them to smile again for that day.
You're such a wonderful friend. You always come to our help when we need you. I love you, Barney. I love you too. You're a neat friend.
Here, it just feels like he's there. And I don't not like Barney in this set of videos, right? Like, he's a lot more fun to watch. I do feel his physical performance is way too much, to the point where a lot of his movements feel unintelligible paired with the voice it's supposed to match, especially with the talking at points.
Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed the show. Here are previews from some of my other videos.
There was also that idea of Mom having never seen him and not being allowed to know about him. Like before, that wasn't just some throwaway line. It added some sort of stakes and was brought up in each of those first 3 videos. It's a legitimate part of a child's imagination and a realistic thing to put into play. We can't let mom see our dinosaur friend, she'll flip. And it's like, yeah, you're right. She can't see him because he's not real. But as a kid, something like that is literally as real as your imagination. And it added so much more weight to any time she'd get close to finding something out or when Barney would leave for the day. In this set of videos, this entire idea of hiding Barney from mom is not only completely abandoned, but is never brought up even once. And to me, that takes so much away from Barney, even if unintentionally. Especially given the fact that Sandy Duncan declined to reprise her role, it really just feels like that whole line in the intro was meant specifically for her, and with her being out of the picture, they didn't bother to write anything else pertaining to that sort of idea. We don't have to keep Barney away from mom because apparently she doesn't care. So why do we care? No one really latches to Barney at all for anything. We just have fun and then it's done. He's gone, we're all gone, that's it, next video. Like, I don't feel anything. Even Barney and Friends later on does it well enough, but here it just doesn't, like, at all. And it's really strange, and it very much could also be the fact that these videos are being directed by an entirely different person. It's just weird, man, because I was really pumped for this set of tapes, and not that I didn't enjoy it, it just feels different. Barney's Campfire sing-along is okay. It's far from boring, and it's just sort of average, run-of-the-mill. It's not bad, but it didn't wow me either. In no way, however, would I put it as low as I would put outings such as The Backyard Show or Rock with Barney. Campfire Sing-Along introduces kids to safety tips while keeping the same Barney charm the character had going for him at the time. It's another entry in the series, leading to the final tape in the trilogy, and arguably one of the most important ventures for the entire franchise. Thank you to Emilia, Velveteen, Alicia, Cameron, Caroline, Junior the Hedgehog, Common J, Mango, Megly, Nerdy Disney, Sawyer, and the rest of my lovely patrons for supporting the stage.